What's up, Weirdlings? Hi, I'm Danielle and today we are going to be doing a book cover recreation. This isn't just any book cover, mind you. One of our very own Weird Girls has... One of our very own Weird Girls has published her very first young adult novel. I want to introduce Chandler Baker in her book Alive. This is going to be coming out in June of this very year, so I wanted to do a book cover recreation celebrating her and all of her successes. Chandler is running a pre-order contest for her book. If you get your stuff in by 6/12/15, you get a signed book plate, a limited edition bookmark, and tons of other chances to win more prizes. Pluggy, 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 plug. The main focal points that I'm going to talk about in this video are the heart and the kind of explosive nature of the splatter paint in the background. For me, I want to exaggerate that a little bit. I think I'm just going to leave the text off for now and we'll figure that out later. Now we're going to draw. Now we're just going to stop talking and draw because that's the part that I'm really good at. There we go. So I need this in portrait mode because Chandler's book is tall, not short and squatty. So we are going to make the width 8 inches and the height is going to actually be 12 inches because I like that. I'm gonna title this, I'm gonna call it Alive. That's what the book is called. I feel so alive! And the first thing that I'm gonna do whenever I'm in this new page of Photoshop is make a whole bunch of layers because I want to make sure that I'm not just leaking everything on the background layer and then having to go back and cover that up. On some layer, somewhere in your painting thing, make a tick mark with your pink so that you can grab that as like a color palette. We don't have to use the pink right away because I like to do my line work first, but if you're somebody who wants to color the shape and then do the line work, then you have the color pink to work with. If you look at Chandler Baker's background, the white is not completely stark. It's got a little bit of a texture to it, kind of a fade, so I'm going to recreate that with a gradient tool and do a background layer first. Then I'm going to put the heart and the color and the explosion-y stuff on top of that. Alright, layer 2, I am going to go ahead and title this Swatch. On layer 3, I'm going to click on it and title it Background. Okay guys, the reason that I'm making a whole bunch of layers, even though this is a really simple drawing, is because you want to make good habits early. Going on the background layer, I am just going to try the paint bucket tool because there should be no color obstructions or things blocking me. I'm going to go in and choose a very muted white gray. We talked about the fact that there is a little bit of texture back there, so I want to make sure that the texture goes on. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to go to Filter. The very first thing that popped up on the filter gallery is perfect, honestly. I really love it. This particular effect is called Texturize, so you can change the different variations of how much texture there is, how far the gaps and things are apart from each other in the settings menu that is listed right here on the right hand side of the screen. So we're just going to fiddle with this one because it's awesome. Scaling makes the texture bigger and relief makes it more intense. So right now, I'm going to scale this more and I'm going to have just like a hint of relief, just a hint, so that you can get like a whisper of texture on this particular paper. I'm gonna hit OK, and now you can see we have a fantastic, fabulous textured background, just like Miss Chandler Baker's book. Ah! I'm so excited. Every moment of this is an exciting and wonderful experience because I'm doing it for the first time on camera right now. I'm so inexperienced in Photoshop, it's unreal. So for me to be able to make something that looks like something else that exists already, it's just like, whoa. Also, my energy level right now. Whoa. On this layer, we are also going to do a gradient option. And we talked about this in my Scarlet Witch video, plug myself, hey. Go ahead and check out my Scarlet Witch video if you want to see a really hardcore in-depth explanation of this particular effect. I'm just going to go through it real quick and like do it. In this particular gradient, I am moving the white into the middle so that I can have it come from the top of the screen and the bottom of the screen. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah! Oh my god, I'm doing it! Okay. So this layer is going to be our line work layer. This next layer is going to be our color layer. I'm just doing the layer name labeling now so that I can have that done. The color of the line work in Chandler's book is black, so that is why I am choosing black. Examining the heart on Chandler's book, you're going to notice that the line work on this is pretty heavy and thick, especially the line work that goes around the perimeter of the heart. Right now I'm just checking out my brush to see what type of line work is going on. I'm starting around the middle of the page, and honestly I'm just trying to mimic that shape as best I can. As you can see, it's got a really nice little curve right here towards the bottom. Here is the dent part that you want to really try to focus on and recreate whenever you're doing the edge of your drawing. See your heart like that would not be right because it doesn't have this part poking in. So we're just gonna undo that. So you're just gonna, you know, do this for 1,000 years, and maybe one day, yeah, you'll get that. You'll get the thing that you don't want to Control Z. My goal on the second half of this heart is just to get something that looks good with this side, really. A couple of cool facts about Chandler Baker. Chandler's a ghost author turned published. If you want to know more about what that means, she says it way better than I do in her own video. So at the end, I will link a link to her video. Aha! Chandler sold Alive to Disney in 2013. Since it's been sold, it's taken 2 years to get it from start to finish. I thought that was a really crazy amount of time, but in another video that she has, she explains exactly why it takes so long for a book to go from purchase to published. Chandler's next book series is called High School Horror Story. She has a really funny story about somebody mishearing her say that title on her video. Go watch Chandler, seriously. The next layer that I'm going to work on is going to be the splatter paint layer. I have this one on top of the layers that I was working on already because I hadn't gotten to it yet. However, once I'm done with it, I'm going to put it beneath the line work layers since it's supposed to look like it's exploding out of the back. We are going to change our brush by clicking our brush menu and go into the airbrush effects. This is the one that looks like a weird shiny pen with a sight on the top of it. You want to make your brush size really nice and huge so that it covers a lot of area in a little time. And you're going to go back to your swatch layer and pull that up so that you can grab your pink. Go back to your brush tool and start swirling your brush around in kind of mix-match ways. Ooh. Whenever I do splatter painting work in real paintings with watercolor, I like to use a toothbrush because it flings the paint in a lot of different random places. I want to try to recreate that as best I can by using sporadic movements in the Photoshop elements so that I can try to get a non-plotted splatter. You just want to try to work with things and play around with things. Don't be afraid to Control Z stuff. You can always Control Shift Z if you like something and then you accidentally delete it. Just go through and try to make something that you think looks appealing to you. It gives it like dynamic and shape. I'm going to also pull my opacity down because this color, if you push really hard and you leave your sensitivity on, is just like really intense. Typically speaking, things that are done in a horizontal or vertical fashion don't have a lot of movement to them, so I like applying this particular splatter effect in a diagonal fashion. That gives it some more movement and allows your eye to move across the entire page. Okay, in order to color in the lines like we were talking about earlier, I'm going to use my magic wand tool on my line layer. I'm going to select everything inside, and then I'm going to switch to my color layer and color it. Keeping the things that are selected in the line menu and then moving to the color layer allows them to be colored on the color layer. Verbally, I know that sounds like a lot, but once I do it on the computer parts, you're going to see it and it's going to make a lot more sense. We're on our line work layer. You are going to make sure that you're on it, select it, then you're going to go to your magic wand tool, click it, and then click inside your heart. Then you're going to go to your color page with your heart still selected. Click your beautiful Alive color and then click your paint bucket tool and you colored it. Oh my god, it's over. Great. Okay, my magical shoulder friend that just left frame, Mark, told me about this really great thing called pixel expanding. And the reason that you do this is so that a selected area touches the lines that you want it to touch. So when you're filling something, it's really a great idea to expand something by a couple of pixels to make sure that it gets in the lines. The way that you're going to do that is go to select, once you have selected the thing that you want to modify, and you modify it by expanding it. And we wanted to do 2 pixels. So we wrote 2 pixels in the square. We're gonna hit okay. And now you're gonna paint bucket. Check out your super awesome alive pink. And you colored it, great job. Okay, now that we've filled everything, the last step to making your Chandler Baker book recreation cover complete is doing the line work on the inside of the heart. Now, I talked earlier about line variation, so what I'm going to do is bring my brush tool down just a couple of clicks so that the line work is a little bit smaller or thinner than the outline work. The bulk of the line work that is found on Chandler Baker's heart is concentrated on the bottom part of the heart. It makes it feel weighted and like it's labored or stressed. So I think it's kind of a really great illustrative tool in order to incorporate on mine. So I am going to focus on that as well. Following the shape of the perimeter of the heart and leaving a little bit of a border so that there is pink in between, I am making shadows that follow the shape of the heart. Like I did before, I'm just doing shapes until I like them. If I don't like them, I just kill them. You can break this up into a couple of different spaces if you want to, or different lines if you want to. Oh my god, keep pushing the window button. Yeah, that one. Nope. Yeah, something. Holy there's so much stuff in there. There's a lot of texture going on here, and I don't know that I am going to be able to recreate it all, because my heart shape is very much different than the alive heart shape. But again, it's a book cover recreation. Not a book cover, take it out of her Photoshop and then put it in my Photoshop and say that I made it edition. So I'm just trying. If I succeed, great. If I fail, great. It's just more practice for me. But I'm not failing. I'm honestly not doing that bad. There we go. Honestly, you guys could probably say the meanest in the world in the comments and I'd be like, that's what I said! We're getting close to the end now. Getting close to the end now. I really like the emphasis that was put on this part of the area of the book cover, so I will do that too. Something that this piece I feel like is forcing me to do that I usually try to advise against is short, quick strokes. I like to emphasize making long, intentional strokes because they usually turn out better. However, this drawing is full of tiny strokes, so it would be dumb to do them big. That's a fun time. The only thing I feel like this piece needs now is just a couple thicker painter boops out in the spray painting background abyss, just to kind of give that a little bit more oomph. So I'm just gonna draw a couple little lines and like put some little dots in there, and then I think I'm gonna call it done. Yeah. I went ahead and selected a brush that I thought was gonna make some really cool little circles. I'm gonna go ahead and boop my brush size up like a whole bunch, so that I can just make a couple of quick passes over my stuff. I'm gonna add one more layer. Guys, we did it. We totally kind of recreated Chandler Baker's book cover. I'm really excited. More than anything, I'm just excited to promote another Weird Girl and be excited to celebrate something that she's worked so hard on. Please go ahead and check out her channel, give her videos and my videos a like, share, and subscribe, and support the things that me, Chandler, and the rest of the Weird Girls are doing at weirdgirls.com. Hopefully, I'll see you next time.